El Trafico is one of Major League Soccer's most intense rivals.
I have a lot of respect for Vela.
It's Carlos Vela!
He's a good player, but you did one mistake.
Ibrahimovic! Oh, come on!
You compare him with me.
Ibrahimovic! Again the man for the grand occasion!
Let's look at the July 2025 derby. Starting with LAFC's defensive principles. LAFC typically set up in a front three, midfield three, and a back four. The team stays very compact, especially through the middle, and keeps a tight shape from front to back. Tactically, they often see their number 6 drop into the back line, creating a temporary back three. This gives the fullbacks the freedom to push wide and to step out to pressure the Galaxy wide players. Here you can see the defensive midfielder, highlighted in blue, drops into the back line and the wide back rolls out towards the touchline. By doing this, LAFC is still able to keep the spacing tight in front of the goal. Notice how tight LAFC is from front to back. So if you look at this, there's from the end line to the highest player, it's only 34 meters. Here, LAFC is in a back five. The defensive midfielder has dropped in. The wide back now rolls out and the Galaxy goes nowhere. Their priority is to get numbers central, allowing them to get numbers around the ball. Here, how they swarm almost 4 players onto the ball, keeping it very compact. Ball goes wide, 1 player rolls out, and here you can see 8 players basically on the line of the top of the 18-yard box. I call it the 3 pigs defensive unit. You can huff and puff, but you're not coming in. And LA goes nowhere. Let's look at LA's shape in possession. In possession, LAFC tend to settle into a defined shape. One of 3 midfielders will drop next to the center backs, forming a temporary back three. Up top, they maintain 3 central players with a wide option in each channel. But it's fluid. Players rotate depending on the pressure. Midfielders who drop deep vary, and the position up front shifts as well. Bouanga often drifts inside while Hollingshead, the right back, pushes wide, though they sometimes switch roles. The key always is the same. Stretch the back line. LAFC is deadly on the counterattack, and it all starts from their defensive organization. They keep their front 3 central, ready to strike the moment possession turns over. Here we see the Galaxy is set up with 3 central defenders. Bouanga, known for his speed, posts up on one of the central defenders. Ordez, constantly on the move, drifts between the lines and draws one of the central defenders. Once there's no defensive cover on Bouanga, the ball is played in behind for their first goal. This is another example how Ordez is able to find space when the ball turns over. They look to get him the ball, not in front, but in behind. Not only is the player on the ball is racing to get in behind, but the rest of the players are looking to support the ball. LAFC's defense was like a springboard for their attack, as they caught an unbalanced Galaxy out of position again and again. Here we can see on the transition 3 versus 3, and then the little movement by the players. One player shows, the other player goes. You can see the cover in behind is broken. Here you can see Bouanga has gotten in behind, and the other players are aggressively running into that space to attack the top of the box. The Galaxy, when they were able to sit into a lower block, would drop into a 4-2-4 type shape. And they did fine with this. They could shift across. But when things would break down is when the ball would start to get deeper. Then there would start to be gaps. Here you can see the 2 center backs have overshifted, and now the right back is isolated 1 versus 1. The 2 center midfielders again have overshifted, and you can see the red dot there is the weak side center midfielder, but he's way past the center of the midfield, leaving the large space right there in the middle open for players to run into. If we look at LA Galaxy's rest defense, so they have possession, but then they lose it. They're completely unbalanced. And now one quick transition, and LAFC is off to the races. The Galaxy start off in a 4-2-3-1, but there's a lot of rotations. The center midfielder would usually drop into the back line, the left back would usually push high and wide, the right back usually would push inside to kind of form a box centrally, and the wide right winger would just stay wide. In possession, this would give them a shape of 3, 2, and then 5. You can see in the highlighted area, there's typically 4 players centrally. To me, the big issue was the Galaxy was good in possession, but never really looked to get in behind. There was no vertical threat. LA Galaxy's second goal came from an overload on the right flank. From there, a quick sequence of 1 and 2 touch passes broke LAFC's shape and opened up the door for the finish. Under pressure now, LAFC makes some poor decisions. They get a red card. Here you can see Galaxy is starting to look to just serve balls in the box since they have numbers up. And we see the 2 center backs overshift to deal with one of the forwards, now leaving a gap, and the center back actually runs through to get the game winner on a header. Ending in a 3-3 draw. This has to be a real disappointment for LAFC to let this thing slip away. However, for neutrals, 6 goals holding up a reputation of El Trafico. If you like this type of content, please don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you on the next MLS Tactics.